Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Adapting here. Today I'm going to be going through a little bit of what I'm doing in terms of coaching. Currently, I'm offering two options. One, a VoD review, and the second option is in live person coaching. For the VoD review, we will be focusing on highlighting major mistakes, missed opportunities, but also highlight things that you've done well. Depending on your skill range, I will guide you between macro and micro plays. Macro is more like map play, where to be, how to farm, etc. Whereas micro is more individual, like ability usage, etc. So for the live person coaching, we'll go through your game in real time and help influence decisions in game and also provide after game summary talk. However, I highly recommend going through the VOD review sessions first so that I can gauge your skill level and see what we need to be working on. If you're happy about booking a lesson, give me or Vivi the Boop a DM through Discord. Hope you enjoyed this coaching video, and I hope to see you soon. All right, yeah, I got your video ready. I'm just wondering kind of where you're at right now and like what you feel like you want help with improving. I'm gonna go through a bit of everything, but seeing if you have anything in particular that you want to like try and focus on, and I'll give you some hints and tips.
I think, okay, with that game, I think I just needed to 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 do better macro, no, or macro. I think.
Better macro, okay. All right, well,
Yeah.
if you're ready, we can start the video and we'll go through a bit of stuff. Already seeing like
Mm-hmm.
what items you bought, and I'll ask you kind of maybe your reasoning on things, but to begin with, I see you've went 3 multi potions. Is there any reason you feel like you want to go 3 of them? Because the main reason I go multi-pot is just to be able to, like, on the first wave or two, have double potion sticking while you're like trading or fighting. But otherwise, I think that the multi-pots are not really that efficient. So
Mm.
if you want, you could have 2 of them, or you can just have one. One should be enough on its own. Um, but just because that allows you to get your tier 2 Jotuns earlier. But it's not something you have to do. It's just like something you really feel strong about, and you can keep it like this. But just a small thing.
So I did go your build, but I accidentally switched up the Hydra's and Transcendence.
The
I meant to
order,
build Transcendence second. Yeah.
it's fine. I kind of go Transcendence third now, even though like just because you stack it so much faster third, and the Hydras feels little bit nicer second item because of the getting the extra CDR on, and then also like a little bit of extra damage from the passive. But yeah, I started going Transcendence third, so it's completely fine. So you're like so what rank are you right now? You like
Hmm?
what rank are you right now?
But currently Diamond, but I was High Masters last season.
Masters. All right, so we're gonna get you.
Yeah.
I get you the GM.
Mm-hmm. I played a few games against you last season, and
Yeah, yeah, I
it
remember.
was not fun. Yeah.
You guys are gonna just get a bit out pushed here. Anubis
Yeah, this guy
is
just got poked out so
kinda
much.
taking a lot of damage here. This is fine. I mean, so far the only thing you could really like done different is just try and ping the path for the jungler. So maybe they are more attentive to it.
Hmm.
This is fine, just poking a bit. Did you notice that they got the Tiki?
I check it as often as I can.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand. They got the Tiki, so yeah, it's good to ping it. You could have, you should have tried to ping the Kukulon to come to you, and you both should have shared the buffs there. You're just, every time you're sharing XP, you're just making more XP.
Alright.
And right now, I'm not sure why you felt like you wanted to back there. You didn't have any, like, you were like full HP, full mana, and you could have stayed around for the wave, for mids, or just, you know, crossed over. You kind of lose a bit of pacing here. Just resetting. Nice counter gank. Good choice to blink in there. Small thing, but as soon as you got the kill and you knew the pop-off was up, just walked it straight away just to... Like, you just want to try and minimize time waste as much as possible. So, like, every second counts. Because every second you gain, you get more presence on the map. Looking for more farm, looking for more plays. Buying wards on the base is good, though.
Yeah, sometimes I think too much, and most of the time it's always it always leads to like something's bad.
Yeah, understand, but like as soon as you get as soon as you get kills, the first thing you should think about is like where can you take farm away from them. And if there's no farm to take, I mean, you have to think like, is there any danger or anything like that first, of course. But you know, when you know there's no danger, just think like where can you take farm away from them, whether that's getting neutrals or whatever, and just trying to do it as fast as possible so that you can get in your reset and be strong again for the next time you want to look for a fight. You maybe could have lived there if you instantly ulted, but
I,
it's kind of an
I think I got
unexpected
stunned
rotation.
somewhere.
Yeah, you got stunned, but as soon as you saw the push, like if you insta-ulted, you might have been able to live here. But
I think I wanted to just insta ult over the wall if I
yeah,
could, but I was
yeah,
too
yeah.
late for that.
Very nice. It's good going for upwash there straight away instead of hitting the wave. Taking timers, I like it. Also a good time to look for your vision, so yeah. Now you see Tsukuyomi left, you should look to see if the Tiki is up. And you do, and you get the Tiki. That's good.
This early game felt great to me, but then late game, like it came around, and that's where it fell off.
Yeah. Yeah, late game is pretty hard to play sometimes. Good escape. Well, you could walk to mid here and just press 2 on the wave, and you would have gotten the farm for the wave walking into the tower here. You're losing a bit of farm here. And you wouldn't have lost a lot of time for it, so it would have been worth it. Did you not want to split that?
I thought that the King Arthur would have showed I wanted to just
You would hide?
secure it from them.
Okay, what did the Tsukuyomi just do? It's a lot of farm right now to get up, so interested to see what you do here. Okay, you're kind of doing something I do sometimes, where I like you're backing even though you don't really need to. Like, I know you have a Hydras in hand, but you could just keep farming there, just rotate with the Anubis through mid, and then look left or whatever, and just once you get your level 12, do like a better back, because you're gonna need to back soon again anyway. So for example, you could have been here earlier. Like if you crossed mid earlier, you would have been there like way ago.
Yeah, that like 5 seconds of time loss would have changed a lot.
Yeah. The thing that doesn't seem like big in the moment, but sometimes like it makes a huge difference. I guess you were looking to maybe like catch the Suki off guard there, which is fine. But it's ended up being a pretty rough situation. So now you kind of still have the thing, right, where you kind of need to back again now, because now you have your relic, so it's just spending a lot
Oh
of
my
time going
god.
back to base. Oof.
Oh, that was bad.
Ronnie got the juke shoes on. Oh. You guys got a pick from it? That was a good pick. You have to be careful because he has a Eurota beat. Oh! I mean, this is fine for you to trade for. It's a good trade. Even if you die, you could have maybe tried to stay alive, but him dying is worth a lot more. This is another like thing. You were like dead for like what, like 30 seconds? Just buy your items when you're dead and then you can just instantly leave base. Just try and make a habit of being like as fast as you can around the map.
Oh, I did. I didn't realize I did that.
Yeah, something to try and think about. Also, the yellow tick is pretty good right now, but maybe you want the max CDR. But the yellow tick is actually really nice for damage because it has flat pen and percent pen.
That's where I think I switched to late game.
You switch to late game, I put that one early game. I feel like it's in the late game I switched to the green mask. It's another like extra 200 HP. Oh, that actually caught his dash. Jesus, the guy's pumping. Did you pre-beats because you thought he was gonna ult you, or?
Yeah, I play that to be safe.
Yeah. That's a small thing, but you could have saved the beats, but you thought you were gonna die then. Kinda hard to do in those kind of moments sometimes. This is good looking for invades here. Knowing they're not around and knowing they're just dead. It's good taking the wave. It's always important to try and keep track of that. Or being on point of that, so no farm goes to waste. Oh, this should be a good bait. Oh, here you... I was gonna say, here you should have held on to your ult the entire time. You don't really need to ult in here. You know he's like in the tower. Just play it a little bit more patient here. Just wait. Because now you both overlapped your CC on him, and I don't know if he ends up living. It looks like he will live. But
I think he did live that.
your Heim wasn't in danger, so there was no reason to like rush this ult. Just keep walking closer, and then if you just waited, you would have got the kill here for free. Like, it's a pretty important thing to always try and be like fairly patient with abilities. Unless you have to urgently use them, but in this case you were fine to just wait a bit. Here you could have played a little bit more patiently as well. Just
I've heard.
like you could have walked up like around, or you could have just waited here, just making sure you don't want to ever like walk into like damage if you can avoid it. Like now you walked through the caltrop, so you took the extra damage. And if you didn't, you might have been able to live here. I mean, this you could just die anyway, but in general, just try and avoid damage when you can avoid it. Just use the Kukulon as a bait, he's tanky. Also, whatever you did, just think about like where do you want to go and like what do you want to do. Look at the map state and think like where should you be next? Where do you want to farm or look for like a pick objective vision? Yeah, that was good holding on to your ult there as like long. A little bit unlucky that I think your blink got stuck in the wall there, so it stopped you from getting like the blink auto. Do you play on normal cast?
Yeah, with everything on LOKI, it's just on normal cast.
Yeah, that's fine. That was good. I think you did what you could there. Good decision to disengage there, because like I was definitely trying to bait you to ult on him. Good call, I was about to say. This could be a good time to go for the pyro, because they've all just died and coming back from base, so you should have time to do it. Good awareness there.
We didn't pick up the bomb. Oh my god.
Oh wait, yeah. At this point in the game, by the way, I don't think it's really worth buying double normals, because what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna play around sentries. And especially when you're fighting, like sentries are super important. Because it allows you to play from like a flank that you know is unwarded. And yeah. Run into the team is good here. That was a little bit messy, but I think in this scenario, you should have just walked right and just looked in the right jungle for farm and invades, or just get the wave pushed. You're kind of too poked to really do too much. So you might as well just look in the jungle, because you know they're in mid. You know there's no one can really... There's no danger. Here, another like time save as well. As soon as you saw that come up, just clear it instantly. Even if you want to check the blue after, you're gonna save time just by doing the camp while you're there, instead of going back to blue and then back there and then back to blue again, or whatever. And also you could have tagged
Oh.
this wave. Like in the late game, you can if you're actively being very observant, like where the farm is, just keep tagging it, because you want to try and get a lot of farm in the late game so that you're able to kind of actually have like carry potential in fights. Like you want to be really farmed in the late game. It was good there to wait for the Sukalti timeout. Sometimes you can just like drag them somewhere you want though, with like your own ult. So if they tick you once, but because you had the ult anyway, it was good to just ult out afterwards.
Yeah, that's what I do sometimes. Like when I'm near a tower.
Yeah. At this stage in the game, by the way, just keep. You have the. I think you have the blue tiki. Yeah. Just keep track of the tiki, because it is just a free like. It's like a second buff. So just try and be a little bit like aware about that. Here you could go for the yellow one, or the green one if you wanted.
So why the green one? The yellow's more damage though.
The yellow's more damage, but the green is more HP, so it's a bit more survivability, which can still help you more in fights. Like you're basically getting over 200 HP for free. And the yellow one, well, you can go the yellow one because you're not gonna have. Okay, if you go Heart Seeker, then you're gonna be capped on pen anyway. So I usually go Bloodforge. Even though Heart Seeker is kind of nice on Loki with the 2, because you can just spam it, pocket with the 2 a lot, but. Bloodforge is so good on Loki just because you have like the Boomba's proc, double lifesteal. Oh. Okay, he died. I mean, I think you know that you missed the AA there. Like, it's super important that you try and weave in the AA every time. But you might have just been, like, trying to rush your abilities. But a big thing is just, like, trying to be as patient as you can with abilities. Okay, this is fine. Just keep looking for, like, a flank. This was a kind of a weird, like, it's hard to call because you could have maybe tried to play it slower, but also your team might have died if you did, so. But as soon as you 2 there, like, I would probably just keep walking around. And just coming, like, behind them properly. Because it might have given you a better engage opportunity. Seeing as your team was kind of on, like, the front foot anyway. But the decision to also understand, because your team was, like, fighting in front of you.
But that thought didn't even occur that I could just to just go around and try and do flank, but
Yeah, in the late, I mean, like, just getting, like, a good flank is super important because it just creates such good opportunities to, like, choose the target you want to go on, and you don't have to, like, you don't want to, like, stress it too much, you know. You just want to wait for, like, a good opening, and if you walked around there, you probably would have been able to actually kill all of them if your team didn't, like, int, I guess. But it probably would have been better. At least that's what I would have done. I would have kept walking around. Here, I don't think you should have altered in here at all. Like, just keep playing. Just keep playing here from, like, the left side, and put vision above here to like clear where they are. Cause right now you know that the barons here, you know, like the orphans are, but you don't know, like, the people who are coming from base where they are. Like, ulting in here is kind of risky. You could easily, like, throw it, and I don't know, does the Kulon die? Does he get out? Okay, he's fine. But he also kind of, like, continues to engage because of it. Yeah, they use change to blue Tiki, but you have capped CDR.
I I I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a small thing, and maybe you don't do it in most games, but, you know, I'm just gonna point out what I see.
Oh, this kill, I remember. This old I did here, it didn't
Yeah,
mean to do it.
This was a little bit sloppy. This was good, like the player initially, and then you should have actually waited with placing your 2 here. So just wait for him to spawn, okay? Then you auto him, then you 2, then you can't, well, you auto, 2, auto, 3 insta cancel, auto, and then alt out after if you should. But if you played it in like the sequence that I said, you would have killed him way faster, and you would have been able to escape. And like in late game, playing like just doing things in the right sequence in the right order make a massive difference. So like here you would have lived. Most likely you should have lived there at least. But the play you went for to like pick him was good. A little bit weird for the Heim to beat there, but I'll fast forward the death because this. How much gold did you have here? Did you just have enough of Hot Seeker?
I think I did, yeah.
Yeah. Like at this stage, just try and obviously if you can't buy a sentry you can't, but now it's like super important to try and find some good sentry vision. Also, I see you placing the 2 a lot before like you start like the fight. Just walk up, auto first and then 2, because it's a free auto cancel. Like it can be good if you're trying to, you know, distract or whatever, but there's definitely been a few engagements where you just preemptively 2 when it's like your best AA cancel.
I didn't realize I was doing that so much.
Yeah, like here again. Okay, this definitely could have been played better. Here, just wait here on the rock. And then you could have played your 1. And just try and just, you could have just tried to walk up. And you just need to get like an auto or 2 off there. Just here, you see this rock? You should just waited here for your stealth. So now you're like walking up like really close and then, but you're still not in range. But you could have just played it slower, you could have played the stealth here and then the Bacchus was gonna die either way. And then like you ult in, you get your stuff forced here. So you also could have, you know, like pre-beadsing here as well. Like if you just pre-beats, you would have, you know, saved it. But you get caught and then you beats in the air and then, yeah, you just auto and die. But yeah, just playing this like a little bit slower and a little bit more calculated here. You probably live and you all of you, like the Bacchus is the only one that should have died there. It's super important to value your life at this point. But I mean, I understand why you ulted him because you saw him dash, right? And then you just got. It's a good
Yeah.
result. But yeah, if you like, even if you just ult in there and you know there's someone around that has like a CC ability, just pre-beats it at least. Like there's a lot of small
So
things that could have been different there. That could have at least like even after you beats, like just don't try and chase anymore because you're not in distance to hit him, right? So like you could have made all the same decisions but just not chased it. Okay, you get it. Again, yeah, you have to be super careful. Like, your ult is like a last resort. Like, you use that when you know that you can, like, finish someone off and most likely escape, or like if you think it's a really good play to, like, you know, go for the trade. But just ulting in to, like, try and get a kill in late game is never how you want to play it. Just be super patient, especially when you have EFG. Like, you're such a valuable asset, especially as like a Loki with EFG is super annoying because you have such good plays to, you know, try and siege like stealthily and make good plays around. But even here, actually, like, if you you're gonna stop hitting it, it would probably be better to even stand on the right side instead of the left, because then it would give you an opportunity to still, like, you know, you always want to try and come like a little bit from the side or like on some sort of flank if you're gonna go for the fight, and you like look to do it from like a long stealth. But yeah, this is like a massive mistake, because it's just never worth trading 1-for-1 with EFG. I just didn't get them anyway. Like in late game as Loki, I usually play like basically off my blink alone. Like, my ult is my escape, and sometimes my cleanup. Alright, not too much to see here. Also, yeah. So after like as you start entering mid game, buy sentry ward. It's better to have a sentry ward.
I don't think I buy much sentry boards unless we're defending.
Yeah, no, it's really good when you're being aggressive because you know where they don't have vision, right? Like, you get to play from a position that you're hidden, and you know you're hidden. So this allows you to like catch people by surprise, you know, like someone can, you know, walk into you, or you can just get into like a good position from that flank. Um, your team just randomly dies here. I mean, you don't really have a reason to be like standing next to them right now, so whatever that guy did, I don't know. You get a bit baited here by USP buff getting dragged out, but yeah, another pretty bad position where, because you walk up to try and get the speed, but you see them coming around that corner and like walking towards your teammate, and then you get your beads and alt force, which is like really bad. Also, upgrade this. The upgrade to this is really nice, and it can actually be clutch in some fights. Like, the healing can be massive. It heals you so much once it procs.
I'm still not changing the fucking tiki. Oh my god.
Yeah, by now you should be using the the green tiki, because you're not gonna get any. You have maxed percent pen. You have some flat pen. You're only gonna get 5 flat pen, but you could get like 200 HP instead. You'll basically you'll be almost at 2.4, like a little bit about 2.4, like 2450.
I think I think I built Heartseeker because of how tanky they were. The Alposh built
Yeah,
built breastplate.
it's completely fine if you think you need more damage. if you feel like it, because Heartseeker is just insane damage-wise, and you have 4 abilities that does proc the Heartseeker, so I'm not saying it's wrong or bad. I'm just saying that on Loki, I like to just go for the Bloodforge, just because if you do play the late game fights well, you can one-shot people off. Like, you have enough damage, usually as Loki, that you don't need a Heartseeker, and the Bloodforge just makes you able to go for, like, pentakill plays. Loki's so good late game if it's played well. Oh wait, I fast forward. I was like, why does it look fast? Like in this position, when you're trying to defend against a siege, you want to have like flanks sentried, and then you want to try and play like on Loki. It can be good to be kind of close to the Phoenix, so that like you can like weave in and out to two it. But you know, usually you don't want to stand like in the Phoenix, and you want to try and like get that vision done with straight away. Just setting yourself up for like a potential play, and if it doesn't happen, you just back out. I hear you definitely. Oh. Good slowing ult there. Yeah, I mean there's a bunch of different things you could have done here. I'm not really sure what happened here, because like you sort of pushed here, but you might as well just have tried to like walk up here. Like even though he's like he can kind of see you, just walk up and try and auto him, and then 2 him, 3 or whatever, right? Just hold on to the blink, and then you just, if you need to ult out, you can ult out. But now you just kind of blink way to the side, and then
I try
just
to
kind of spam your abilities.
right there. I try to get the fire blink damage off.
Yeah. That's fine, but well, no, I don't think you like. I think it's better to just walk up there and just, unless you can like blink directly behind him and set it up, but you could just try to hold on to the blink. I mean, the game might have been over anyway, right? Because they have so much. They have like 20 bombs and they already have the Phoenixes down. But it's just a lot of the plays that happened later on in this game definitely could have made a difference. Like this was definitely a winnable game. And it's just a bunch of like, you can have a sequence in the late game where you were kind of making the same mistake over and over. And I don't know, like how do you, like what do you feel? What's your thoughts?
So that whole game, I I felt I was I, I felt I was doing fine. Well, well, except knowing, except knowing when was the best time to like farm and stuff.
Yeah.
Because the Tsukiyomi was always like the levels ahead, despite despite how much I was doing early game.
Yeah, I mean,
And now that I'm looking back,
yeah,
I'm realizing just how I'm realizing just how impatient I was with all these fights.
yeah. Was what I was gonna say for like your next like ranked session. Just try and work on patience a bit when it comes to like taking like your engagement or whatever, right? Um, just think a little bit more about like how to play it, and like don't feel so like get like so like stressed that you have to go in or like you have to do, because in a lot of the times you were kind of in the right position and ready to make the right play. It was just executed wrongly, really. Um, so try and look into that, and then like with the abilities, just yeah, like will Loki, if you play him more. I mean, he's pretty good in rank right now. I think he's really strong. Um, maybe not the best early, but he's fun. Just think more about like using the AA cancel on the two, because like it's your best AA cancel, like and well, unless you're just like poking, right? Of course, that's different. But yeah, for the map, like you waste a little bit of time, because it looks like you're indecisive on what you want to do. But say when like the back RPC spawned, for example, just instantly clear them as soon as you see them come up. Even if you want to like go back, like if you want to check blue or whatever, just do it first, because you're just wasting time otherwise going back and forth. And I mean, I'm not talking in like this, but in this situation only, it's just for any time you try and do something, just try and be quick, because you're saving time on the map. And then one thing that we noticed as well was that you back a little bit unnecessarily much. If you don't have to back, if you have full HP, mana, and like you don't have an item or whatever, just farm on the map. Like there was times where you're just letting farm go. Like you left a wave here, you left a wave in mid. There was also some other like farm points where you're leaving farm up to back for no like real reason. If there's nothing to do on the map, right? Everything's down and like the wave's cleared, and you don't really know what you want to do, then sure you can back. But a lot of these time, well, all of these times, there was stuff you could have done a little bit extra, right? And that's the thing that since you're trying to improve, you need to look into like all the small details that you're missing out on. And because just improving on those and like creating these good habits or like better habits is going to have like a positive kind of snowball effect, where like you just do it consistently and you're gonna start noticing the effectiveness. Like the biggest one
So when
was
it came,
like
what?
the rotation. You remember when you backed here at the pyro? There was a mid wave up
Hmm.
and like the Anubis was clearing, and then there was farm up in the left side of the map. And if you had just like walked there naturally, you would have had like the perfect counter gank, because they did a really bad gank. And you would have had like the perfect counter gank down here. And that's when Suki got really far ahead of you. Yeah, what you were gonna say?
So I, I don't really touch much of the waves because I want to leave it for my teammate in lane,
Mm-hmm.
because earlier when I was on the wave, the Anubis pinged me and said he was booting stacks, and it was like 2 minutes prior to that, so I wanted to just leave it for him. And also, I feel that if I push the waves too much, then they're too high up, and my teammates will have to like walk all the way up there for it.
Yeah, definitely. But in these situations, it was fine for you to push them because your teammates weren't gonna be around anyway, and the waves were just gonna, like, the wave was just gonna push up either way. It's just form being lost, especially like in like the tier two. Like it's already your wave is already gonna die to the tier two, so the form is just gonna be lost.
Hmm. All right.
Especially because like sometimes you saw like the Heim will like do your speed or whatever. Like sometimes you will, even though you're the jungler, right? And you have you know, if the mid laner's here when speeds up and you're here, right? It's fine for you. You just ping the mid laner, take the speed, you do the wave. Because this is a much more efficient way of clearing the map. Because otherwise you have to take all this time, walk down to the speed, and this wave is just gonna like get put. This is just an example. Not saying this happened this game. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there's plenty of scenarios where you just have to try and trade the map because you're just trying to keep up a good pace um, in terms of the farming. It's just being efficient because it's efficient for everyone to do it that way. But I completely understand like your point there.
So when we got the CFG, I should have just gone the outpost instead. Got his timeline, but I was really impatient here.
Yeah, so in this position, like if you, it's even fine to go to the left if you think you want to fight, right? Because it's fine for you to look to fight here. You have a 3v5, right? So you don't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily need to take the 50-50 here. And if you want to fight, you already have the vision here on the Ishtar. So there's two ways you can play it. You can either play to go around right side here to cover where the outpost is as well. Or you go down below now, while like below this rock, and you come like this way towards the Ishtar. And that it gives you a much better like engage angle, and also you can play off your blink. Like in late game, try not to ult. Like if you have your blink, try not to ult in unless it's like a situation where like okay you're gonna stun like 3 people, you're gonna kill 3 people. Like it's not 100% of the time I'm saying, but in the majority of the time, try and play off your blink when you have it. And so here, if you think you want to fight, walk, because you're already down here now. You just walk down here to the left and come around this way, and then just wait for your blink and your stats to come back up, and you just blink in. But if you just want to keep hitting the FG here, then stand more on the right side. And then here is like the biggest mistake. It's just the fact that you ulted in with the EFG.
Yeah, that right there threw us the game.
I mean, the game is still in a fine state, but yeah, it doesn't help. Like you would have been in a really good position if you had just went away. Like you just didn't need to fight there or go in there. And then yeah, the game kind of just devolves from here. It's a little bit like just more of these like misplays. But you played good for the most part. But of course, when you're looking to learn, you have to look at like everything, and you have to, really understand like the major things you did wrong in this game. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, hope that helps some at least. Do you have any more questions or anything?
Uh, I'm not sure. Well, why not to me when I play other junglers?
Mm-hmm.
It, it, well, jungling it feels really bad to me right now
Yeah, junk.
because I think I got so used to the party punch recipe and giving the extra damage.
Yeah. Jungle is a lot worse this split, just so you know. Like they nerf jungle hard. Do you understand why? Or do you want me to try and
Like
like I can explain a bit why?
the cooldowns being removed.
Um, so you see these farm points. the side buffs being in these deep in these lanes, right, is a major thing, because before you had this neutral, this neutral, this neutral, and this neutral to always contest and farm around, right? And these created a
Oh,
lot of openings for you as a jungler to either go for a kill, right, while they contest it, or control it, and like it helped you. Whoever was like able to control the side buffs, you could build a lead as a jungle. You could help your teammate build a lead as ADC. Right now you have a lot less control over these. Why? Because you have to go so far to collect these buffs. Also, we lost Party Punch. We lost class passives, and we lost Eye of the like, which is like a massive one for a lot of gods. But yeah, Party Punch was so nice in jungle. Like it helped you so much in like the early to mid game to gank. And yeah, I mean that's the main point. But yeah, I guess that will basically be our session done. If you have any like feedback for me, let me know, because I'm just starting out with this and I'm trying to learn how to coach better and get better at this. So I'm gonna watch back kinda. I recorded the session if that's fine. I'm not gonna post it anywhere. I'm just need to study myself, you know.
but that's fine. Yeah.
Um,
So maybe so maybe you could be maybe more interactive, because there was like, because there was quite a bit of of there was quite a bit of times where you would talk for like 15-20 seconds,
yeah, yeah, for
and
sure.
maybe like pointing out some s- s- some like macro stuff on where they might be.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, yeah. Yeah, I'll try and do that more. I was thinking about it as well while I was watching, but then I was like, I wasn't sure if it's better if I'm a bit quiet and just see what you do, or if I should speak more. But yeah, I think that's a good feedback. But yeah, just try and keep the mental notes of yeah, just be patient with like abilities later in the game. Make sure not to miss like the farm, and don't back too frequently, and buy more sentry wards as you go into like the mid to late game.
I got it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope this has helped some.